Hello dear children, welcome to the online platform of Sri Gokulam Guruvayur. Children, we were discussing chapter 6, accounting procedure, rules of debit and credit. In our previous class we have discussed about the classification of accounts. We saw that accounts can be classified into two ways, traditional approach and modern approach. We discussed about the modern approach in our previous class. We saw that in modern approach, accounts are classified into 5 subcategories. They are asset account, liability account, capital account, revenue account, and expenses account. We also saw the rules of debit and credit related to each of these accounts. So, I hope you have practiced the problem related to modern approach. Now, let us move to the next approach, that is traditional approach. With both this method, the answer will be the same, but the way of doing the rule being introduced is different. But the answers, whichever method you adopt, the answer will be the same. Let us discuss how the rules of debit and credit is used in traditional approach. Under traditional approach, we subclassify the accounts into personal accounts and impersonal account. Personal accounts related to persons, that is, these persons can be in the form of individuals, firms, companies, debtors or creditors. So whenever you find a individual's person's name, a firm's name, company's name or debtor or creditor, you have to understand that it is a personal account. Okay, so this personal account is classified into 3 different subcategories. They are natural personal accounts, artificial personal account and representation personal account. Okay, now regarding impersonal accounts. Accounts which are not personal, such as machinery account, cash account, rent account, etc., that will come under impersonal accounts. So there are both personal and impersonal account. Personal means related to persons, and that which is not related to person is known as impersonal account. In impersonal account, we can classify this into 2 categories, real accounts and nominal account. So in total we can say we have actually 3 accounts: personal account, real account and nominal account. Okay, you have to just understand 3 of the concept: personal account, real account and nominal account. Now let us discuss each of these accounts. Now here is the first account, that is personal accounts. So as we told that, as we discussed earlier, these are related to persons, firm, company and institution. For example, account of Ramesh. So whenever a person's name with an account is prefix or affix, then you have to understand that it is a personal account. Then here is the name of a university, an institution or firm's name, company's name, that all come under the personal accounts. Now, what is the rule of personal account? This is very important. This is what you have to by heart or study thoroughly. Rule of debit and credit related to personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. So if there is a receiver, then you have to debit that person. If there is a giver, then you have to credit that person. So remember, rule of personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Now the next is a real account. This is related with those things whose value can be measured in terms of money, or we can say assets of the business are included in this real account. So the real account means the account of assets. So all the assets will come under the real account. We have already discussed about the assets, some of the assets. Which are some of the assets we have discussed in the earlier classes: cash, stock, land, building, goodwill and many more tangible and intangible assets. So real accounts, we have to include the assets. Now, what is the rule of debit and credit related to real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. That means if cash is coming in or building is coming in, what you are supposed to do? Debit the building account. If building is going out, so you have to credit the account. So this is the rule of debit and credit related to real account. Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Now regarding nominal account. Nominal account is the account of revenue or expenses. It includes those accounts which are related to expenses, losses, income and gain. For example, salary paid, rent paid, commission paid, or the expenses included in nominal account. So all type of expenses are included in nominal account. And similarly, any income or gain like interest received, commission received, rent received comes under the nominal account. So all the revenues and expenses are included under the nominal account. Now what is the rule of debit and credit for nominal account? Debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain. So when you are studying the nominal account rule, you have to study in this way. You have to debit all the expenses and losses. If the company is having any expenses like salary paid, so paying a salary is your expenses, so you have to debit salary account. And credit all income and gain means if you have received rent, so receiving a rent is an income for you, so that rent will be credited. So this rule you have to remember, that is debit all expenses and credit all income and gain. First of all, you have to understand when question is given like commission paid. So you have to classify whether it is personal account, real account or nominal account. So we say we have learned that anything received or paid like expenses or losses will be shown under the nominal account. So the nature of this type of question is, it is a nominal account, and the rule of nominal account is debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain. So these are the three accounts. Now let us do a problem. Here in this problem, following accounts are being maintained in the books of Sri Ashok. Classify them into personal, real and nominal accounts. So these are the list of items given to you. You just have to identify whether it is a personal account, real account and nominal account. Land and building. You know that personal account means names of the persons or institutions or firm, company, and will come in the personal account. Real account is something related to money, assets. Nominal account is expenses, losses, income and gain. So just tell me land and building, what it should come? It is a real account because land and building is our asset. Okay. So see, I have the first that is land and building will come under real account. So under real account, the first item is land and building. The next item is excise duty. So this is your expenses because you have to pay the excise duty. Okay, so excise duty is your expenses, and expenses and incomes are shown under nominal account. So excise duty will come under nominal account. Next, third one is the creditors. Creditors means what? It is a person to whom we are supposed to pay the money for the credit purchases we have made. So creditors are the persons to whom we have to pay the money. So it will come under which account? Creditors will come under personal account. Now next question, capital. Capital is a amount invested by a proprietor. So proprietor means it is also a personal account. So here also creditors will come under personal account. Next is motor vehicles. Motor vehicles. What do you mean by motor vehicles? It's a vehicle. So vehicle is coming under your asset. So assets are represented out of this three account in which we represent asset. Yes, of course, real account. So motor vehicle will come under real account. Next is goodwill. Goodwill means intangible asset. So that intangible asset Anyway, it is an asset. So real account, goodwill is a real account. You can see here motor vehicle and goodwills are shown under real account. Okay. Next item is investment. So surplus cash, if any, we invest in some project, isn't it? So that is our asset because investment gives us return. So investments are our asset. Assets are shown under real account. So investment is a real account. Next is salary. So if it is not mentioned anything whether salary is paid or received, you have to understand that. You have to assume it like we are paying the salary. Okay. So salary paid. Salary paid means it is an expenses. So expenses or income, it will be shown under nominal account. Next is debtor. Debtor is a person from whom we have to receive the money for the credit sales. So it's a personal account. So that debtors will be shown under the personal account. So remember children, creditors, capital, debtors, drawing, this all will be shown under the personal account. Next is bad debts. Bad debts means if we have some debtors and they have not paid us the money for the credit sales, that money which we will not receive is known as bad debts. So it is a loss for a company. Tell me in which account we show the losses or expenses? It is shown under the nominal account. Now depreciation. Depreciation is reduction in the value of asset. So it is a loss for the company because our assets value is decreasing. So that loss will be shown in which account? Expenses or losses will be shown in which account? Right, nominal account. Next is wages. Wages means the amount paid to the laborers for the work. Okay, so that wages is also an expenses for us. So that will be shown under nominal account. Now repairs, repair of machines. So we have to spend cash on the repair. So that is our expenses. That will also be shown under the nominal account. Next is Ramesh. Ramesh, it is mentioned, is a debtor. So as I told you, that debtor is a person from whom we have to receive the money. So that will be shown under which account? It will be shown under personal account. Okay, name of a person and all that will be shown under the personal account. Next question is interest received. So anything received will be shown under the real account, nominal account. Interest received, interest paid, that is an account shown for expenses and losses or income and gain. So that will be shown under nominal account. Next is the bank overdraft. So bank overdraft means we have withdrawn more amount from our bank. So that will be shown under personal account. Okay, remember children, bank overdraft will be shown under personal account. Bank overdraft means if we have withdrawn more money than what is there in our account, then it is known as bank overdraft. It is a facility provided by the bank to the business people. So that is our personal account. That comes under personal account. Now next is next given in the question is purchase return. So we have purchased something. Purchases are our expenses, but if it is returned back, then it will be shown under which account? Purchase return will be shown under nominal account. Okay, and what about the next one? Drawing. As I told you, drawing will come under the personal account. Freight charges. Freight charges means the goods have to be taken in and out. So all that expenses, it all are the expenses of the firm. That all are related to nominal account. Then return inward. Return inward means you have sold something and it is returned back by the debtor. So by a person to whom we have sold that goods and he have returned those goods. So that is known as sales return. So that will come under nominal account. Okay, so this is how you have to classify the following accounts. The test paper is also attached along with this session. Do attend the test paper. So let us have a review of today's class. We saw the traditional classification of account. We classify this account as personal, real and nominal. We saw the debit and credit rules of traditional classification account method. Children, now next class we will discuss a new chapter. Till then, goodbye.